Hello everyone, welcome to Marketing 454, Advertising and Promotion. This is Chapter 12. And let's evaluate media, particularly magazines and newspapers. This old-fashioned traditional media types, but they're still viable tools in advertising and promotion. So let's learn about that. Okay. These are the learning objectives. Okay, you will be able to do a lot of things after this lecture. Okay, learn a lot of things. Okay, the role and value of magazine as newspapers. Believe it or not, magazines and newspapers still have their roles to play, and they're still a viable source of media. Okay, magazines and newspapers, they present detailed information that can be processed at the reader's own pace. Okay? The readers can adjust, control their own pace, read fast or slow. Okay? Not intrusive. Right? It's a high involvement media, because if you have a newspaper or magazine in your hand, you must be attentive in reading it. So it's a high involvement media. That's a good thing. Right? Readership across multiple platforms, not just the print media, print magazine or newspapers. They can have online and other tools, other platforms to deliver their message. Right? Newspapers reach broad audience, while magazines can reach specific types of consumers and market segments that we're going to talk about just later. Okay? Newspapers, very broad, lots of people across spectrum. Magazines can target very specific type, with special interests or a hobby. Okay? So let's look at magazines first. Magazines, right? There are varieties of magazines, right? They serve educational, informational, and entertainment needs in both consumers and business markets. There are consumer magazines and the business magazines. Okay? Could be educational, could be informational, and of entertainment value. Yeah. More companies advertise in magazines than in any other medium, I believe now. Okay? Magazines can be targeted to a specific industry or profession. For example, the American lawyer targets legal profession. Communication arts targets design, advertising, and illustration professions. Okay? Dentistry, of course, targets the dentistry profession, dentist. Progressive grocer, the grocery industry, right? So very specific, very targeted. Okay? For most of us, probably, if you're not in the industry, you probably will never read them. Okay? But for those who are in the industry, you're certain that they will have access to that. Okay? Also, classification of magazines. We can classify the magazines into different categories. The first one is consumer magazines, targeting the consumers and bought by the general public for information and or entertainment. Okay? Consumer magazines can be classified by the categories, like sports magazines, lifestyle magazines, travel magazines, etc. Right? Or by the distribution, the way they are distributed, like subscription, circulation, and store distribution. Okay? Or by its frequency. It could be a weekly magazine, monthly magazine, and bi-monthly magazine. Okay? And there are also special interest magazines to reach target audience with a little wasted coverage or circulation, like a progressive grocers, only grocery people in the grocery industry will read it. Okay? And as to consumer magazines, the farm publications or farm magazines is actually considered a consumer magazine. Okay? It's directed to farmers and their families. Okay? It ranges from general interest magazines to specialized agricultural areas. They are not classified with business publications. It's not considered a business magazine. Kind of interesting, but just as a consumer magazines normally, right? Or farm publications as a separate one. Farm publications are consumer magazines because historically farms are or not perceived as businesses. Okay? And the beef, like this one, Beef magazine provides cattle ranchers and others in the industry with market outlooks and other valuable information for their business. Business magazines, business and healthcare publications. Okay? Their major classifications of business magazines and healthcare magazines are magazines for specific professional groups, okay? And industrial magazines for business people in manufacturing and production industries, manufacturing, production, it's called industrial magazines, trade magazines, trade magazine for wholesalers, dealers, distributors, and retailers, right? And general business magazines for all business executives across industries, all industries. Healthcare magazines are for various areas, different type of disease or healthcare issues. Okay. Advantages of magazine. Magazines advertisement has advantages, right? The first one is being selectivity, right? Very selective. Keep that in mind. Okay, this is going to be your test, and also as knowledge for yourself. Magazine is very selective. Right? Selectivity means its ability to reach a specific target audience and has certain interests. Has demographic selectivity, different areas, different geographical area, and editorial content you can tailor to them. Get special editions tailored to different demographics. And geographic selectivity, demographic, like income, income, gender, ethnicity, and geographic, different part of country. Target the geographic selectivity. The magazine can target the particular area, maybe Southeast United States, Northeast, Midwest, West Coast, and or in a certain state or even certain city. Okay. The purchase and ad space in specific geographic editions of national or regional magazines. Even national magazines that you can advertise in only a certain geographical area. Okay. Like this magazine called Portland Magazine promotes the upscale socioeconomic characteristic of its readers in Portland. Okay? In Atlanta, there's the Atlanta Magazine. Okay? In New York, there's New Yorker Magazine. Okay? Advantage of magazine, another advantage of magazine is that the reproduction quality is high quality, visual medium, high quality in reproduction. It also offers creative flexibility. You can do a lot of things, flexible things, with your creative idea. Like there are things like a gatefold. Gatefolds. What's gatefold? Is a third page ad that folds out into extra large spread. So you can kind of like open it up, it's very large, very big. It's a page that's folds out, from the magazine. Bleed page. What's a bleed page or bleeding page? That ad in the page on the page extends to the end of the page, the top and bottom of the page, or edge of the page. Because normally the text or pictures on the page, does not go all the way to the edge, right? There is always a margin there, like a white margin. Okay? But the bleed page will go all the way to the edge, give you some extra power in presentation. You can use unusual page sizes and shapes, okay, according to customers' needs. You can have inserts in magazines. Okay? You can have a lot of creative space buys. Okay? You can work with magazine managers or editors. Okay. Like this one, this example, this very creative insert for Audi of America appeared in the issue of Departure, right? Departure, this is a travel magazine. A magazine, Departure travel magazine that focuses on travel, fashion, arts, and culture, and reaches a very upscale audience. Okay? The ad promoted the lighting features of the Audi 88 by having the insert actually light up. The insert actually light up, so it's quite intriguing, huh? That's magazine. Another advantage of magazine is its permanence. Permanence. It has a longer lifespan, definitely longer, much longer than newspapers. Right? The readers are exposed to ads on multiple occasions and can pass magazines along to other readers. I'm sure you have seen that, right? The magazines, from maybe a month ago, a year ago, is still there. And also, it has its prestige. Prestige. Brands enhance prestige by advertising in magazines with a favorable image and high quality editorial content. Advertising for high reputation brands benefit evaluations of magazines. Okay? Prestige. Yeah. There are also the consumer receptivity and engagement as a part of the advantage of magazines. Consumers are more receptive to advertising in magazine than other mediums, such as newspapers. We, as consumers, we believe that the ads on magazines are more likely to be received, accepted. Yeah. Primary source of information for consumers for a variety of products. Okay. Engage readers and retain their attention. Okay. Because it's self-paced, the high involvement. It is directly related to increased advertising recall and specific action taken. Magazine ad help with recall. Okay, recall with the ad, and also with actions taken, purchase intentions, etc. Trial, for example. Okay? Consumer receptivity, advantage of magazine. And also magazines offer services. They can help with merchandising staff. They have merchandising staff. They have research studies conducted on consumers. Okay? You can have split runs. Split runs. What is split runs? 2 or more versions of an ad printed in alternate copies of a magazine. Okay, one issue you run this ad, another issue you run another ad. This will help you help determine which ad generates more response or inquiries. Okay, but you can even have personalized messages now with the internet, with the digital information and printing. Okay. There are disadvantages of magazines. What are the disadvantages of magazines? Cost is an issue. Cost is high. Okay? Limited reach and frequency. Okay? Maybe you're running like a monthly, weekly, monthly, or semi-annually. And you can do like it's a limited reach, long lead time. You have a lot of time in advance to have your ad ready to be run on magazines. Clutter and competition, always an issue. Okay? Disadvantages of magazine. Okay? As to the magazine's circulation and readership, there are some measurement issues, key terms I need you to understand and remember. Okay? So about circulation, how many copies are read, learned, purchased, held, retained. There is a primary circulation. There's a number of copies distributed to original subscribers or purchasers. Okay? It determines magazine's rate structure. Does your rate structure, how much you can charge advertisers is based on this. It's your primary circulation. What is primary? Subscribers, purchasers. Okay? Guaranteed circulation. The publishers give advertisers a rebate if number of delivered magazines falls below the guarantee. Okay, so you charge you this much, advertiser this much for this magazine. I can guarantee you will print a certain number of copies. If it falls below, give you money back. Figures that safely below average actual delivered per circulation, of course. Okay. Circulation rate based system. The rates based on average circulation below actual circulation delivered, but carries no guarantee. The circulation rate based system. Okay. They are circulation verification companies or services that do the auditing. Okay. There's Alliance for Audited Media, AAM. They audit consumer magazines and farm publications. They provide data and information critical to evaluating and purchasing media. Okay? They audit digital replica editions of magazine. Okay? Controlled circulation basis is the copies sent to individuals the publisher believe can influence a company's purchases. Okay? That's called controlled circulation basis. Okay? As to the readership and total audience, right? Pass along readership. As I said earlier, there's a pass along readership. Okay? It's the primary subscriber gives magazine to another person. Okay? Primary subscriber gives magazine to another person. It's a pass along readership. Publication is read in doctors' waiting rooms, on airplanes, and so forth. Read by many people. Okay? Total audience and readership. Total readership is calculated by multiplying the readers per copy by the circulation on an average issue. Okay? SRDS, audience information research for magazines. There's some companies doing audience research, audience information for magazines. SRDS is one of them. It provides complete planning information on domestic and international consumer, business, and healthcare publications. Information on readers via publications' own research studies available as media kits. Okay? Syndicated research studies provide reader information. Okay? Also, business publication audits provide titles of people who receive publication and industry they work in. Okay? Those are the audience information and research for magazines. Okay? Like this one, most magazines have online media kit. They have the media kit online, so you can look at it, search. Okay? The media kit will provide basic information such as the reader demographics, circulation, editorial calendars, rates, specifications, contact information, and other valuable data for advertisers to use. Okay? This is an example of Cosmopolitan's online media kit that contains useful information for advertisers such as this reader profile. Okay? This is a consumer reader profile. Okay? It shows that the age, okay, like Generation Z and millennials, okay, household income, okay, 50,000, 75,000, right? And the median income here is 63,000, right? Education, any college or graduate college, right? Marital status, single, married, others, any kids, Spanish or Hispanic, Black or African, and the county, etc. Okay. To purchase magazine advertising space, there are some cost elements you have to consider. Of course, you want to consider magazines circulation, okay? The size of your ad, half page, quarter page, full page, or insert gatefold, or bleeding page. Okay? Ad position in publication, or particular edition chosen, special mechanical or production requirements, number and frequency of insertions, etc. These are the things to consider in your costs. Okay. Also, positions available for ads the first cover, not the front cover. Okay, front cover is the magazine, right? The first cover is outside front, right? That's the first cover, right? And the second cover is inside front. Okay. The third cover is inside back, and fourth cover is outside back. Okay. So you have outside front, inside back, and outside back. They all have different price. Okay. Advertising space sold on the basis of space units. Okay. Full page, half page, quarter page, etc. Right? If the more color you use, the more expensive it is. Okay. Also, the advertisers can save money through volume discounts based on total space purchased within the contract year, and also magazine networks. You can buy space in the group or map publications as a package deal. Okay. The future of magazine. What do you think about the future of magazine? Okay. There are challenges to magazines. Reduced revenue as advertisers shift to digital media. Okay. Difficulty in increasing rates. It's hard for them to increase the rates. And increased cost of paper and ink. Costs. Increased postal rates, post office charge, right, to deliver. And strong competition from other media. Okay. And also, as to the future for magazine, there is the publishers are focused on stronger editorial platforms, appeals to interests, lifestyle, and changing demographics. They try to manage their circulation well and carefully manage costs of attracting and maintaining additional readers or subscribers without increasing rates. Go digital magazines. Native advertising means it integrates advertising in online publications with the environment and the editorial content. Called native advertising. Digital editions of magazines developed specifically for tablets. For tablets, they have a digital edition of the magazine just for that tablet. Okay? And there are some key findings from a study on the value of print advertising. What the neuroscience says about why print magazine ad work. Neuroscience tells us that the print magazine ads still work. Okay, as paper readers remember more. Okay, also paper-based reading. Okay. More paper readers. They remember more. They're more focused more focused attention on that, and less distraction. Remember, high involvement. There's a higher comprehension and recall when someone read it. Right? Higher comprehension and recall. It stimulates emotions and desires when people read. Okay? It's preferred by majority, the people, even the millennials. Okay? It drives sensory involvement, which contributes to reader impact. Okay? Sensory involvement. Okay? Also slower reading speeds. Okay? So that's the value of print advertising. Okay? And this one here, Women's Health magazine, right, uses a number of social media platforms to extend its connection to readers beyond the print edition of the magazine. Right? You can go online, laptop, cell phones, mobile devices, etc. See, they have 8.2 million print edition audience, 8.2 million. But digital, 20.5 million. Okay? Twitter, 4.656 million. Facebook, 8 million. Instagram, 2 million. And Pinterest, 800,000. And social media, 15 million. So it's a lot of that. YouTube, 149,000. Okay, women's health. Let's talk about newspapers. Newspapers, old-fashioned newspapers. They are daily newspapers. Daily newspapers in cities and larger towns. They have daily newspapers. Detailed coverage of events, issues concerning local area. It could be morning paper, evening paper, or Sunday paper. Daily here. Right? And there are also weekly papers that in small towns or suburbs. Right? They focus on news, sports, and events relevant to local areas. They appeal primarily to local advertisers. Okay? There are national newspapers. National newspapers. They have national circulation and editorial contents with a nationwide appeal. It's for the nation, right? Appeal to large national advertisers. Large national advertisers will be interested in that. Regional advertisers that use specific geographic additions. Okay? In this ad here, the New York Times has more than 10 million subscribers and attracts many national and regional advertisers. Okay? They are special audience newspapers that specialize in specialized editorial content published for particular groups, for example, for labor unions, professional organizations, industries, hobbies, foreign language speaking ethnic groups, religious groups, etc. There's a campus newspaper, right? Campus newspaper. And the newspaper supplements. It's called the newspaper supplement. It's a magazine type of supplements included by papers primarily with the Sunday edition. A lot of inserts, coupons. For advertising on newspaper, there are different types. You can have display advertising. That's use visual devices in addition to the copy text. The two types, local and national general advertising, display ad. You can use a classified advertising, classified ad, as arranged under subheads according to the product, service, or offering being advertised. Okay? Special ads and inserts, government and financial reports and notices, public notices of changes in business and personal relationships, pre-printed inserts, freestanding inserts, printed by advertiser and taken to newspaper to be inserted. Okay, called the freestanding insert or FIS. Okay? Pre-printed inserts, okay, and frequency on reading inserts. Okay? 2/3 of Americans newspaper readers report that they always or regularly read or look at the pre-printed inserts when they appear with issues of their regular newspaper. Okay? And 29% always, about 37% regularly, and then sometimes, and others. Okay? So newspaper inserts are an effective way to reach consumers. Advertising for advantage of newspaper advertising. Okay? Market penetration. You can penetrate a market. Okay? It's very flexible. There is geographic selectivity. Different locations, different cities, states, metropolitans. Reader involvement and acceptance, and also you have services offered. Okay? There are limitations of newspapers. Limitations: poor reproduction, not as good as magazines, right? And short lifespan. People don't normally read yesterday's newspaper. Right? Lack of selectivity, not as selective as magazine, and there's clutter. Right? Like this one. Sometimes they find ways, like this one, the Los Angeles Times, find ways with a layout to accommodate, advertisers, for the information. This one here, the first one on the left shows the bookend, called bookend type. On the right, it's like a stair step. like stairs. Okay. The audience of newspaper can examine the audience by city zone, the city where the paper is published, and contiguous area similar in character to the city. Okay. We have Augusta Chronicle, we have Aiken Standard. Okay. Retail trading zone that's market outside the city zone, whose audience, whose residents regularly trade with merchants within the city zone. Okay, and all other areas, all circulation not included in the city or retail trade zone. Okay, audience. Okay. Also, data on newspaper audience size and characteristics are available through SRDS, newspaper advertising source, syndicated research studies, audience studies conducted by the paper themselves, etc. Okay. How to purchase space on newspaper advertising? Advertising on newspaper. You can go with general versus local rates. General advertising rates is the display advertisers outside newspapers designated market area, okay, or DMA. Okay. Any classification deemed to be general in nature, this rate is usually higher than the local rates. Okay, that's general advertising rate. For local rates or retail or local advertising rates, they apply to advertisers that conduct business or sell goods or service within that DMA, designated market area. Okay. Rate structures, the rate structures of newspaper advertising, column inch, because the column on newspaper page is fixed. Right? You go by how many inches, in the height you want to go. Okay. You can use the standard advertising units. The standard advertising units. You can use flat rates, no discount or for quantity or repeated space buys, just flat rates. Or you can have open rate structure, discounts based on frequency, or bulk purchase of space. Okay. There is also the run of paper rate. What's a run of paper rate? The paper can place an ad on any page or in any position it desires, or when it's available. So the run of paper rate is normally often cheaper. Okay. Preferred position rate. You choose, advertisers choose a specific section or position on the page. Of course, it's more expensive. Combination rates. Advertisers get a discount for using several newspapers as a group. Okay. Sometimes a company may own several newspapers in different cities or regions. Okay. So the future of a newspaper, what do you think? What do you think about the future of newspaper? Okay. It's not going to die, I can assure you. It's going to stay here for a while. Okay. There's a dramatic decline, though, of advertising revenue. There's a more effective medium for local advertisers. Okay. And the challenges include competition from other advertising media, maintenance and management circulation, cross-media opportunities, and declining readership. Okay. And the competition from other media, including traditional media and digital media. Newspapers expanding their market capabilities and services offered. Circulation. Okay. Newspapers using subscription-first model to reduce declining circulation. Okay. And attracting and retaining readers, the biggest readership decline in women and young adults. Women and young adults are the two biggest groups that stop reading newspapers. Okay. Online delivery and multiple platforms. Okay. Online newspapers prefer the mode of reading for many, particularly younger consumers. It's highly engaged and upscale audience. Newspaper working to increase revenue generated by digital edition from advertising and subscription fees. They charge readers for access to digital content. Some kind of annoying, huh? Networks help local newspapers sell online ads on their websites to national advertisers. And also newspaper publishers transforming into media companies. Instead of being a newspaper publisher, they want to become media companies, offering their services online and offline. Okay. This example here, for example, here, San Diego Union Tribune offers a number of digital tools and analytics to advertisers. In this ad, it promotes the various digital and analytic solutions it offers. Okay? I think that's all I have for this chapter. Thank you. I will see you and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.